So anybody who has a question, pop it into chat. Reina jumped on it. So it's about a meditation. I'm a newbie to meditation, and I'm trying to develop a relationship with my guides. I'm trying to ascertain if I am truly connecting with them or if the images are flashes. That is such a good question. Reina, I talked about this a little bit in the last one, but I'm going to talk about it again here. And this is such a good thing to talk about right at the beginning. I am going to pull cards, first of all, for you, and we are going to look at it. But in general, what I want to encourage you to do before we start is I'm going to encourage you to not know. You could develop theories about what you're seeing, but try to cling to the notion that you don't really know for sure. That helps. That actually makes it so that the messages come through clearer, purer, and free of your ego, free of your personal need to influence the answer. So if you hold on to the idea that you're not really sure where all this is coming from, then the knowledge comes through really clear. But having said that, let's take a close look. Let's find out what is going on with you. So the heart of the thing is for you that this is very much sorry. The interpretation of the cards is going to vary depending on the person, the situation, and what comes through. So we may stray a little bit, but very much this is a representation of who you are at the moment. The King of Coins, which is in this particular perspective, you see this communication with your guides as being a real key to the things that you care about, the kind of like the value in of your life and of your skill, and something of real worth, something that you could never buy, and that you want more than money. So this is the sense I'm getting right now as far as how you think of this contact with your guides. Um, and there's two things bouncing back and forth here on this. Um, the first is that you're working through, so part of what's making it hard for you to see one way or the other, the communication with your guides, is the memory of other people or the things other people have said about their experiences. You're a little wrapped up into their stories. They'll talk about you'll have stories in your heads of other people's experiences, and you've felt very strongly about their stories. You heard that their experiences, and you said, "Wow, I want that. That's amazing." And so you're sort of anchored to their experiences rather than your own, and that's holding you back. Which, by the way, Reina, makes you super normal. Um, don't beat yourself up too much about that particular inclination. That's a very kind of normal thing. Like when other people tell fascinating stories of fascinating experiences and you want to share that experience, letting go of that is a process. It's work. It's not that, so it's not a failing of yours at all to be going through that and processing that. It's just something you're working through right now. So letting go of the stories that other people have told about their experiences is a process. But if you can do that, you'll be able to have your own experiences, from here. That's the point. That's where we're going with that. So that's something that you are in the process of doing, and you're doing it well, and you're doing it in a healthy way. But that's still, you're not done. You're not quite done that process yet. So there's a little bit of that. The other thing is that very legitimately, what I'm getting back is that um, you are getting flashes back that aren't necessarily images of your guides proper. So the things that you're getting back are not what you're asking for specifically. You're getting things that you need. So this is this is the trick. We often ask for things that we want, but not necessarily the things that we need, and that's super normal too. But the flashes that you've been getting so far are not specifically of your guides. They're of something else that you need to work through. The other thing I'm getting, intuitively from this is that the images you're getting are like dream images in that they are symbolic representations of a process that's undergoing. So it's really what I'm trying to say is that if you analyze these images, if you probe them and try to understand them as symbols of internal process. So ultimately, I mean, I hope that answers your question. Good night, Grace. Sorry, just saying goodbye to the person who works here. She's calling it a night. Um, but there's more to look at because that's just the beginning. So, you know what I really encourage you to do, Reina? Because I know that you're very keen on getting this right. This is something that's really important to you. But there's definitely a sense of following someone else's plan rather than developing your own. There's that sense that this keeps coming up in different ways, in different tones and shades. This idea that uh, you're definitely you've been instructed on how to do this and you're following those instructions, that kind of notion. And I want you to take the rule book and throw it out the window. Um, that's really the big reinforcement I keep getting here is to take the wisest instruction you've ever gotten and ignore it completely and just do whatever your gut tells you. Like the screen says right now, I mean, even my own advice, okay? I tell everyone to take my advice with a grain of salt because the most important person to listen to is yourself. But the feedback I'm getting here is that you are spending more time listening to other people than yourself. You're even looking at guides rather than your own intuition. There's your gut that you are tuning in. You yourself are picking things up, and you're ignoring yourself in favor of other people's advice. I'm glad to see in chat that that makes sense to you because I honestly don't know what I'm talking about. This is all just coming through. So I'm really glad it makes sense. Thank you for that affirmation. but yeah, this is what I'm getting is just to throw the rule book out, Reina, and you will have way more progress. Find your own way, write your own story, and make it make it your own. And in this moment, you will have an introduction to what that looks like on the tip of your tongue. You know exactly what it is. And so start there, but expect surprises. Expect to surprise yourself. And as long as that's your expectation, that'll happen. And it'll be joyful and wonderful. And you're just going to love it, love it, love it. And the story you'll end up with a year from now is going to be one you never, ever thought you would have. And it'll be your own. So I encourage you to do it. Also, you know what? Subscribe to this channel and hit alarm and check in with me as time goes on, because we can revisit this, Reina, and look further a few months down the road. Of course, I mean, do your own thing. Don't let me muddle your head too much. But a few months down the road, let me know how you're doing. I really want to know. I'm going to keep this up, and you're very welcome. Yes, thank you for your thanks. I appreciate that very much. Questaway Les, you also had been saying earlier that you had a question. Go ahead and ask me in the chat. Meanwhile, though, Reina, I'm going to leave these just for the moment until you give me the go-ahead to clear it up. So let me know if you need me to expand on any of these points or if I've been clear enough. I think from what you're saying, I've been clear enough, though. But just let me know if something I said wasn't meshing with you, and we can expand further. I gotta drink some of this amazing coffee. Awesome. All right. Glad to hear that I've been clear.